Coming off a nice 2-1 day to start the playoffs. I got three more best bets. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back into another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and I am back to talk game two of the wild card round in the baseball playoffs. Wild week one. We went 2-1. We will take that gladly on a 22-10 run in baseball after a couple bad weeks. Glad we bounced back and glad we're carrying that momentum into the playoffs. What an interesting first day of baseball. We had the Rays make four errors, throw a wild pitch to let it run in, and look like the bad news Bears in a 4-0 loss. I mean, imagine playing that good for 162 games and then you have to win a 2 out of 3 best series and you play maybe your worst game of the year. I mean, it was ugly and they lost 4-0. Twins, number one pick in the draft, Royce Lewis, battled injuries. He is now healthy and he hit 2 home runs to lead the Twins to a win and break the 18-game playoff losing streak. That's awesome to see for Royce Lewis and the Minnesota Twins. The monkey is off the back. D-backs young hitters do come through and carry the D-backs to a win over Corbin Burns and the Milwaukee Brewers, one game away from advancing to the NLDS. And then Zach Wheeler, my boy, winning a bet for us, shuts down the Marlins easily to a game one victory over for the Phillies. If you followed that Odds Jam best positive EV bet that I gave out yesterday, the over 8 in the Arizona Brewers game, that was a nice winner too. I just want to point out a reminder before we get into this video. If they are in the teams with the teams that are down 0-1, any pitcher props or anything like that, be careful on the overs because they are all hands on deck. So if a pitcher is struggling, they do not have time to wait for him to struggle through it. They're going to have to bring somebody else in because their season is on the line. It is must-win time for those teams. With that said, I do have an over pitcher prop on a team that is down 0-1, but just want to point that out if you're looking at outs recording and different things like that. So in this video, we go over the bets recap. We got the good hitter matchups, the pitcher report, and then I give you my three best bets. And now, before we get into that bets recap page, smash that like button. Take 1 second out of your day. You guys crushed it last video. Let's keep doing it. Leave a comment below. Let me know your best bets. I love seeing all the comments. It is just absolutely awesome that we put in this work. And as our channel grows, it's because of you guys. Literally, all the comments, every time you hit like, it helps us grow, and we cannot thank you enough. So thanks again. All right, it's time. Let's get into the bets recap page. All right, there it is. A nice 2-1 day, even though it started out ugly. Yandy Diaz 1+ hit and Rays money line. Neither of those two things happened. It was just bad all around. Didn't matter who I picked to get a hit in that game. The Rays lost 4-0. And then Zach Wheeler, over 17.5 outs recorded, came through in the clutch, pitched almost 7 innings. I mean, the first 5 innings were just simple. It was a breeze. So that was a nice, almost even money winner. And then William Contreras comes through yet again to extend his hitting streak, and Bo Bichette got a hit early to make that a non-sweaty win. That's right, a -109. So 2-1 day, 2-1 in the playoffs right now. Trying to get back to even overall on the season of playoffs because of a few bad weeks that just knocked us down. But we'll get there. There's the record, and now it's time for the good hitter matchups. All right, we have 5 Miami Marlins on this list. That's right. That's absolutely crazy. Soler, Luis Arias, Bertie, however you pronounce it, De La Cruz, and Segura, all hitting NOLA decently well. I mean, 4 for 14 is not unbelievable, but yeah, small sample size for all of them. And then we also have, let's see, 4 Philadelphia Phillies. So that game pretty much takes over the hitter matchups today, including Bryce Harper 3 for 9, Alec Baum 5 for 9 with a bomb versus Garrett. See what I did there? JT Realmuto 3 for 7 with a double and a home run versus Garrett. And then Matt Chapman, who just missed out on a 3-run bomb for the Blue Jays in game one, 3 for 8, 1 double and 1 home run versus Sonny Gray. And we end it with Corey Seager, who had a great game one. There's a reason he was a top 5 MVP candidate this year. So those are the best hitter matchups for October 4th. And now let's dive into the pitcher report. All right, we got some great pitchers on the mound for game two, including that first one. Eovaldi versus Zach Eflin. Eflin's been solid at home. 3.14 expected ERA overall. A very low 3.4% walk rate. That should be a great matchup. Eovaldi, he's had a few struggles a little lately with some walks, but if he can keep his control down, that should be a great game there as the Tampa Bay Rays fight for their life. If I had a lean in that game just for the side, I lean the Rays again, but at the high odds, -150 or whatever it is, I wouldn't touch that. That's for sure because the Rangers are just as good with a good pitcher on the mound. So Jose Barrios versus Sonny Gray, guys. Sonny Gray, the third lowest ERA in the league. We are going to talk more about this game, but this is a great matchup. Barrios is better at home than he is on the road, but they are fighting for their lives, so that should be a good game. Zach Gallen takes the mound, the ace for the Arizona Diamondbacks against Freddie Peralta. It took forever for the Brewers to announce their pitcher without Woodruff now because he is hurt, which is just an absolutely huge blow to them. Freddie Peralta takes the mound. He has that 30.9% K rate. Gallen not too shabby at 26% himself. So there could be quite a few Ks in that game. And then we got Braxton Garrett versus Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola is a guy who, like I mentioned before, he can dominate a team or he can get hit around. He has been inconsistent, but he has been much better in Philly. I like the Phillies to win that game, obviously, but yeah, those are the four matchups. Some good matchups in Game 2. We had 3 unders in Game 1. The only one that went over was that Milwaukee Arizona game. The other games, I think there were like 4 runs or less in every game. I could be wrong, but it was something like that. So, anyways, that's the pitcher report for October 4th, and now it's time for the best bets. All right, we started out with a nice little hitter parlay. We've been on a roll with these. Here we go. It's Trey Turner and Royce Lewis, 1+ hit each at -109 on DraftKings. Let's start out with Mr. Trey Turner. He's been profitable for us this year. He went 2 for 3 in Game 1, so a good start. He had a 5-game hitless streak near the end of the season. Since then, he's found his groove, going 8 for his last 18. He is 2 for 6 with Braxton Garrett with 2 home runs. We didn't include it on the good hitter matchups because it's only 6 at bats, but 2 bombs off him and 6 at bats, not too shabby at all. He has hit 300 since September 1st, and he's not afraid of the spotlight. He's played in many playoff games. I like Trey Turner to get another hit today. The next one, Royce Lewis. I almost used him in Game 1, but he was coming off injury. I didn't know what the status was exactly, so I stayed away. This guy's a stud. Let's see. He's just hit 2 bombs. Just carry them to a win. That's not a bad start. On an 8-game hitting streak. I love guys on hitting streaks. And then he has 10 for his last 24. That's right, 10 for his last 24. And he's never faced Jose Barrios. Barrios has given up a little over 8 hits per 9 innings, as we saw earlier. A little above average, but he's not anybody who can't be hit, especially when he's pitching on the road. So I like Royce Lewis to stay hot. Speaking of Royce Lewis, I have a second bet that has to do with him. I'm going to go Royce Lewis 1+ RBI or over half RBI, however you want to say it, at +165 on DraftKings, guys. This is simple for him. First of all, I needed to get a hit to win the other bet. So I got 2 bets relying on him, but I'm just throwing a half unit on this RBI bet because RBI bets are you need a little luck there. On his current 8-game hitting streak, he has 11 RBIs and 5 home runs, including 2 in Game 1. This guy could get a home run and get a solo home run, get an RBI himself if he wants to. Guys get on base. He drives them in, whatever he wants to do. But I'm going to throw a half unit on Royce Lewis, 1+ RBI at +165 as my second best bet. Now, let's move on to bet number 3. All right, game number 3 takes us out to Milwaukee. We got the Brewers hosting the D-backs yet again for game number 2. Brewers money line -135, D-backs money line +114 with an over/under of 7.5 runs. Let's see here. Zach Gallen has only faced the Brewers once. It was way back in June. Gave up 1 run in 7 innings. We know Gallen's been better at home than he is on the road. He has an ability to absolutely dominate a lineup, or he can get hit around a little bit when he leaves Chase Field. So this should be a good game. I don't have a bet on the side. If I had to lean, I don't think Brewers are going to go down like this. I think they're going to win this game with Peralta on the mound. Over under 7.5. I probably lean under, but I don't really have a good take on this. My best bet in this game is a player prop, and this is the over pitcher prop that I just told you to be careful about. So here we go. Freddie Peralta over 5.5 Ks at -125 on DraftKings. This is a very low number for a guy. Get this. At home this year, he has a 35.7% K rate. It's absolutely insane. Overall in the season, a little over 30%. So it's not like he only strikes him out at home, but he just has been unbelievable at home. I know we bet him against the Twins one time earlier this year and he let us down, but so he's facing the D-backs. The D-backs only strike out 20.7% of the time. This is not a team that I'm going to sit here and say they're a top 5 strikeout team or anything like that. But he's faced teams like this very recently too. He faced the Marlins and the Padres recently, and they have similar K percentages against right-handed pitching. And in those games, he had 9 strikeouts and 9 strikeouts. So it doesn't really matter. He's just got nasty stuff. In his last 5 home games, how about this? 9, 10, 9, 13, 13. A minimum of 9 strikeouts in his last 5 home games. I just need 6. That's all I'm asking for is 6. He skipped his last time to get some rest up for the playoffs, because he got rocked the time before that. But he's been a good pitcher overall this season. I think he's going to be rested, focused, ready to roll in a must-win game for Milwaukee. Obviously, the only worry is that if he has a little bit of struggles at the beginning of the game, they don't leave him in long enough to get 6 Ks. But you know what? The line is low. I thought it'd be at least at 6.5. So I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to go with Freddie Peralta over 5.5 Ks at -125. Those are my three best bets. I had to get creative with them because, like I said, I don't love a lot of bets. There's a lot of 50-50 games. You can maybe bet a few underdogs, but now you got teams with their backs against the wall and all that. So, should be an interesting game two of the wild card round. But let's check out that bets recap page. We start out with Trey Turner and Royce Lewis, 1+ hit each at -109 on DraftKings. And then we stick with Royce Lewis and ride him 1+ RBI at +165. I'm only putting a half unit on it because it's an RBI prop, and you need a little luck, but hopefully he just hits a bomb and takes care of that winner. And then Freddie Peralta over 5.5 Ks at -125 on DraftKings. There's not a lot that I love, and to be honest, there wasn't a lot of odds out for me. DraftKings did not have much out on that recording of this video. I had to get creative, so just wanted to point that out. If I have any added bets as odds come out in the morning, I'll be sure to add it, leave it in the pinned comments in the premium Discord and all that. So thank you guys. Appreciate all the support. This is fun. I love playoff baseball. It's intense. There wasn't a lot of scoring in game one, but you could just feel the pressure in every at bat, especially with guys on base. So it was a lot of fun. Let's see if teams can bounce back after being down 0-1 with their season on the line. So smash that like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Thank you guys for the support on the way to 7,000 subscribers. Hope you guys all have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk to you soon.